No, you only can those last week too.
It's every week. It's
Oh.
every day.
What's your craving? Happy Friday. Who's your biohacker? Who's your chiropractor? Thank you for the gifts. We always appreciate them. And the original biohackers are actually chiropractors. No
we did a
offense,
show
buts.
on this one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So today here we are talking not how our studio audience has to pass children who are getting 5s on their exams, but asking about what's your craving and why. Why you craving what you crave, and not the type of cravings that Shantae and I were talking about, unfortunately, on Healthy Happy Hour on Tuesday. If you missed that, head back to that one. That was fun.
It was entertaining for sure, but you guys didn't mention sweet potatoes this time, so I had no recipe to pull out after that.
That is true.
Wonderful little
They
spiel.
worked good, pretty good.
Yeah, I need to definitely make them a little crunchier on the outside next time, but I like
yes,
a little
yes,
kick.
me too.
So,
The cake was nice.
so we'll make more of those again sometime soon.
So, Dr. Brandon,
Yes.
women who are pregnant may have at some point wanted pickles. Pickles was the answer. Why pickles?
I didn't realize there was a question.
That was the question.
Whose question?
My question. Why did she want pickles when she was pregnant way back in the Stone Age?
It wasn't pickles.
With one of them you had pickles. Oh, there was no other women I got pregnant, so.
We're gonna turn a whole other
You had 3
conversation
chances
quick.
on this one. One of them was pickles.
Probably Xander.
So you're going on about meat yesterday.
Yeah. So Xander was the answer. So the boy, I wanted nothing but meat. It was bacon, ham, steaks. I wanted a lot of meat with the boy. And the girls varied. Athena was dark chocolate, and Elila was ice cream.
With pickles.
Not with pickles.
Pickle ice cream.
I never combined weird foods. That is one thing I never did.
But some people do.
I was gonna say that's actually, you were rare in both forms on that one.
Yeah.
Because in pregnancy, most of the time, there's a. I'm just gonna ignore whatever the hell he's doing.
Happy
Friday. So most women that are pregnant do get cravings, like 50, 90%, and 76% of these women have cravings for things that they didn't really like before. Hence the pickle thing. That's really common, having cravings for things they don't generally like. So you're odd on that one. But usually end up craving things for general cravings are fat and very sugary foods. So most of the cravings women get during pregnancy are in the first trimester. I can tell you this is not a physiological craving. There's been no real massive change of hormones. There's been no increased need of nutrients, because that's another very common thought, is that you get cravings due to nutrients.
It's crap. It's really crap.
Yeah, and most of the people who say it's that it's a socially accepted time to just gorge yourself is really where it comes down to a lot of the time. There are some real cravings that come with pregnancy, but they're later on when you actually need more nutrients.
This is funny. This is not a pregnancy talk whatsoever.
No.
It was just an example I brought up.
It was.
I've had those cravings for chips. I want, like last night, I wanted your entire roast.
The pot roast.
And I ate it.
Well, it's actually kind of fun to go to because guys tend to crave a lot more savory foods, where women tend to be a little bit more of this sweet and sugary. But the 5 most common craved foods, you're not going to be surprised with these. I mean, number 1 is chocolate. No, there's not a chocolate deficiency that we're craving. People just like sugar. It was potato chips, French fries, mac and cheese, and then cookies. The mac and cheese kind of surprised me, but then it made me want mac and cheese.
All kids want mac and cheese, like for whatever reason.
It
like,
makes
Our
sense.
student audience even looked over to the side of the plant.
It's a comfort food.
100%.
That's why I wanted pot roast
Yep.
so much yesterday. It was one of those days that
It was damp and dreary and cold and windy, and it's a perfect day for pot roast.
Sure, that's the exact reason. Thank you for filling that in. But
Right, the number 1 reason to get cravings is usually due to not being comfortable. We call it depressed.
Oh.
What do you know? We can go in terms. Let's put into.
And what did my grandma used to make back in the day?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Pot roast.
I'm not your grandma.
Oh, so you just compared her to your grandma.
I'm just gonna shut up. You guys are just screwing with me tonight. Don't screw with me tonight. Or ever.
No, he's talking to you on that one. I don't know where we're going to go from this one. So other times when people get cravings,
I
it's
was trying to
usually
get
that
some
lack of
temporal
comfort.
activation. I was trying to lead into that, but I kept getting smacked around for No reason.
That's a good segue in the difference between cravings and hunger is that they go different neurological pathways. This comes into play because a lot of people think they're the same thing. Oh, I'm really craving chocolate. I must be hungry. No, you just want an excuse to eat chocolate. But cravings actually go through a bunch of the centers of the brain that targets the limbic system, so your emotional, memory, and addiction centers. Hunger does not. So when you get actual cravings, there is reasons for it, but it's usually to get a dopamine release because you're not feeling well, you're tired, you had a hard day at work, or it's just dreary outside, so you want pot roast as a little dopamine release because it makes you feel good.
As a child, we felt comfort in certain times, and we often associate through long-term memory certain foods that we had the comfort. Hence, my grandma's pot roast was a simpler time. It was a much simpler time and always warm and loving and caring environment. And when you're feeling quite the contrary, your body wants to go back to that. It reaches back to that long-term memory, and boom, pot roast.
For me, it's ham and green beans. Very similar thing. I can still smell it. Like when I know I'm going to make it, I start smelling, which is odd. But that's another memory thing. So cravings. The whole deficiency is the one I hear about the most. And I actually thought this one for a long time. Nutrient deficiencies. You have cravings for something that your body is lacking of. This is proven true, but it's also quite rare. Because the big thing was, I'll go back picking on chocolate because why not? Oh, you're craving chocolate. It must be magnesium deficiency. I've heard this one all along.
I've used that excuse just for craps and giggles before, so I know it's a
Well, you
poor
realize
chocolate
it's
bar,
bullshit.
but I'm deficient in magnesium.
Let me go ahead and say why this is not true. First off, if it was magnesium deficiency that you're craving chocolate, why is it only chocolate, not sources of better sources of magnesium like nuts, seeds, or grains? It's not. You just kind of want sugar, or in your case, to justify chocolate, which not like you need to justify.
Most people justify
all the time. Right? Why am I having this? Because you freaking want it. At least accept that part and move on with it. The ones that do cause the most likely for deficiencies is salt. That one's actually reproducible. Give someone a diuretic, and you will crave salt. They did it with placebos. It was, to me, a very interesting study, but I'm not going to bore you guys with what I find interesting. The other one is pica, which we've talked about a few times. People craving non-food,
dirt.
Ice and dirt.
And that does happen in pregnancy too.
That does. And that is a deficiency typically in iron, calcium, and zinc. And again, you can change that by supplementing that, and usually pica goes away in that case, unless it's more of a psychological disorder, less of a physiological. In that case, that's not a nutritional thing. Like, otherwise, no, it's usually you just want something to make yourself happy. So when people ask, how do you avoid cravings? Do something else that makes you happy, or just accept and have your wonderful little chocolate. But things like exercise is a great way. Something else that gives that dopamine release. Go talk to or go hug a loved one. That one will also drop it because, again, the endorphin release. So eat chocolate or hug your wife, or both.
I'll go with that one. I'm just thinking hug a loved one, and already I need to go get some comfort food.
Not quite sure.
You're cool.
how to take that.
I'm going to catch you cuddling a pot roast. Like
Put that up.
It might
Spooning a pot roast.
just him and a spoon.
That'll be the photo for the phase 3 of hitting sex. If you,
Round 3.
Ground 3.
oh, high
Sex
intensity
foods.
interval, double IT. Okay.
Exactly. Why don't we wrap this up?
Go get your cravings
I was
on.
gonna go get my craving on. Got anything else?
Nah, we'll call it quits. I'm done.
Don't ever quit. Here's a public service announcement. Don't ever quit.
Go do something else.
What if you're a perpetual quitter?
So this is Mad Scientist.
Okay.
Thank you for another Friday. I appreciate you. I am out.
Pretty brains brawn. I don't think I came in, so I'm out.
Who's your chiropractor? Dr. Brandon. I'm out. We're still